Guten Tag, willkommen zu Doctor Who Review mit me, Johann Smythe. So yeah, this will be my new series of review/reactions to Doctor Who Series 10. And this is the first episode of said series, The Pilot. So as the show's reintroducing itself, maybe I should as well. Hi there, welcome to me. I usually do these things sort of like really badly structured. I sort of give good points and then bad points afterwards about the episode. So I think I'll try that for now, but if in the future I think no, it doesn't work, then I will stop. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. First off, Pearl Mackie is pretty good. From what I could gather, she's actually quite a good actress. Better than what that clip of her and the Dalek we got last year kind of showed. Yeah, she's good. She can hit the comedic moments pretty well. She's got she's just quite likable. She's got a nice screen presence. Very expressive. Chronologically, going on good stuff from that. The best bit of the episode, where they played a Joy Division song in the bar that Bill was at. Where she met Heather for the first time, played Love Will Tear Us Apart, which is really cool. Peter Capaldi in this episode is also pretty good. He does a good job. He doesn't seem like a massive presence in it, really. He's kind of slightly... Because Bill is really the main character of this episode, and the Doctor's kind of slightly to the side. The narrative isn't really following him at all, which is kind of how it was with Rose. And it works. That just really does work very well, and because the audience is seeing it through Bill's eyes, who is the character who is taking us by the hand, showing us sensations that could make us feel the pleasures of a normal man. So yeah, Capaldi's good. His kind of city, the speech he gives when he's lecturing, it's quite a cool speech. The time thing, that's a really nice way of describing it. Some good writing there. A bit I really liked, actually, a good bit of sound design, was when Bill went back to her apartment after investigating the puddle with the Doctor, and you could hear the sound of the bath running in the background, just like very faintly. You could kind of just hear it, and at first you don't quite get what it is, like the monster is following her. You don't quite know, then you kind of kicks, you're like, oh shit man, that's what it's about. So that was really cool. And the episode did have quite a few fairly good scary moments, actually, weirdly. I think the scene with her in the corridor kind of going towards the bathroom was quite nicely done. There was some good scary ambient music in the background. The sound in this episode is all quite good. Well, some of it's not, I'll get to that. Another scary bit, Heather, when she's become the water monster, is kind of... And there's a shot of her beneath the tree, and the lighting's all eerie, and it's at night, and she's kind of just floating. It's all pretty scary, and the way she's kind of repeating what Bill's saying is pretty spooky. It's kind of the same thing they did with the Spoonheads, except this is actually frightening, whereas the Spoonheads were. A really good moment was the TARDIS reveal, and it gets agonising for them having to keep revealing the TARDIS every season. But this one is okay, I guess, the actual directing. The actual shot where they're inside and it looks like it could just be a confined space, and then the camera slowly pulls out and the hum of the TARDIS starts, you kind of fades in, and the little lights come on. It's just a really, really good shot, just in terms of editing, sound and directing. Really, really some good stuff in here on a technical level. To speak on Matt Lucas as Nardole, he was quite good. He's just kind of a comedic side character who's the Doctor's sort of assistant. He was okay. Matt Lucas, good comedic timing. Overall, it just kind of sets up some interesting questions. What's in the vault? The Doctor and Nardole are looking in. The Doctor says he's in disguise. What does that mean, really? Why is he on Earth for so long? What has he been stranded? Probably the Time Lords did it, but what's all this about? Sets up some strange queries. As for bad points, again, chronologically, the bit at the beginning where Bill's talking about telling the Doctor the chip story, really didn't need that obnoxious music over the top. yeah, just really kind of annoying. It obviously would have worked a lot better without kind of music. You'd think it would kind of cut to a flashback. That was just annoying. Yeah, it's only a tiny thing. But some of the Doctor's costumes in it were just really terrible. The hoodie and the red thing and the jumper, and then he's wearing a kind of blue waistcoat over a black T-shirt, and then but he changes back into his shirt and waistcoat when he's in the TARDIS. Is that like his Doctor costume, and then he has his university costume? He should have just been wearing clothes university professors typically, like a tweed jacket and a tie or something. It doesn't, the hoodie thing, I don't know what the costume department are doing there. It just really is a bad costume. It doesn't suit him in the slightest. And it's just annoying that he has to wear those shitty clothes. As for the beginning bit, again, Bill, we don't really see her getting tutored by the Doctor. We don't know really what's going on, what he's doing with her. Some clips of that would have been nice. He throws a book at her, but it just kind of intercuts, kind of badly edited, between him lecturing and then Bill's life and serving chips and all that, and it just doesn't, it's just really tiny shots. We don't really get a good chance to see their relationship. Leading on from that, we don't really see Bill and Heather's relationship, because they don't really have one. It's just, they meet a couple of times. We don't get any indication of why they really matter to each other. I mean, they meet each other in a bar, or they look at each other. Not sure what happens after that. And then when there's the emotional climax, if you will, between Bill and the water monster, and it's still kind of retaining Heather's personality, there's no real emotion there because they never had any emotional grounding to begin with. So it didn't really work very well. The water monster itself, we've seen, water's not scary. We know it's Waters of Mars. It was pretty scary. Dark Water, again, not really. It's the same thing. It's not very, as a monster or alien or threat, it just doesn't. It's just water. We've seen it before. There's nothing new about it. This doesn't feel a very fresh plot line. There's nothing interesting about it, really. Some of Bill's dialogue is also quite annoying. I mentioned Pearl Mackie is a very good actress in playing Bill, but Bill's character, while likeable in quite a lot of ways, yes, some of her dialogue does feel a bit like... Moffat said, she asks all the questions no one else has ever dared to ask. Maybe there's a reason for that. Because at times it does feel a bit like she's a kind of stand-up comedian doing a bit on all the kind of things wrong with Doctor Who, like, what, the doors, did you get those cheap? Those cheap. The rest of it looks like a kitchen, and no. Yeah, the climax again with the waterozoid, the puddleoid, whatever I call it. So the puddle latches on to people who have a desperation and a desire to leave where they are, because that's what it does. It's like a spaceship or something. So it became Heather. No, it took the form of Heather to blend in, to try and lure Bill in, and then it shapeshifts into a Dalek. Did the Dalek want to leave where it was? Was the Dalek in desperate need to just go out into the world and explore? No, probably not, because it's a Dalek. Is it a shapeshifter then? Why didn't it shift into anything else? It wasn't very well explained what that was about. And then of course it turns out, like most modern Doctor Who stories, it's not actually evil, it's just misunderstood, it just wants some love, it just wants to be with Bill. Earlier it was talking in kind of a creepy, whispery male alien voice. It was obviously scary earlier and trying to kill them earlier and trying to suffocate Bill earlier and being scary. It doesn't work to reveal it like that. It's just have an evil alien. It's fine, Stephen. And because there's no emotional depth between the two characters in the first place, there's no emotional depth in the climax either, so there's no reason for it to be nice in the first place. So as a whole creature concept, it falls very flat, I think. So overall, it was a fun episode. You know, it moved along at quite a nice pace, maybe a bit too fast sometimes, and did miss out some key things which would have given it a bit more validity as an episode with a plot. As like, but Bill was cool to watch. It was kind of refreshing. Doctor was okay. Nardole was funny. The creature wasn't very good. Probably the weak point of the episode, and the dialogue's sharp. It's all shot very well, and sound is all very good. Overall, probably a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 maybe. I'm gonna go with 6. It's better than how Series 8 opened, Series 7 opened, Series 9 opened even. So, you know, it's pretty... So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week for Smile! Also, who else is super disappointed that Kendrick didn't release a follow-up album to Damn? I swear he would have... Everything pointed to that happening in Damn, but no nation, no. It's still good, but like I just think it would have been better to have